And welcome to Batman Radio, the greatest radio show of all time. You're tuned in with your one and only host, Tyree Sneed, the great Batman. That's right. Trying to think real quick. So basically, today me and Cyber talked. We had a lengthy conversation, and it went really well, man. Um, I think the dude is a cool dude. I think he's a stand-up dude. It put everything in perspective a lot more for me, just to understand who's who and what's going on. Like I said, every conversation I have is all just with genuine intentions, man. I don't ever have any underlying agendas or anything like that, but I genuinely enjoy talking to dude, and I just think that I just think that what he's done is a major milestone for all of us, you know what I mean? And I think that the work that I've been putting in and everything I'm doing is also a major milestone for all of us. You know what I mean? Um, the one thing I understand, there's always viewers, but I would never let anybody misconstrue. Like as far as like what I've been through, again, everything that happened with me was ground zero. That's the thing. I'm not gonna let anybody. I'm glad that people want to show support. I'm glad that people have their opinion, but it's usually all it is an opinion. I was ground zero for all of this. I am the only one who was targeted by the government. I'm the only one that, YouTube and Google 100%, right, targeted me. Okay. I'm the only one. So, that's the thing is, these other people who, really they're all kind of noobs to these sectors and to YouTube. We didn't know any of these people. They all just kind of came in and then pretended they had a voice. I was ground zero for all this. I was one of the, if you wanted to say, like an original founder of all these sectors and stuff and of actual YouTube content. I was like the original founder of all of it, really, because I came up in the middle of, the when the game was really the game and we was really having to compete. And I didn't need the money or anything from this because I had a bank account with like around $300,000 in it at the time. You know what I mean? I owned several properties. I was doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I just had everybody, I mean, basically plotting on me and trying to get angles on me to not, you know, not see me, make it. And I guess they just didn't want me to build a future. You know what I mean? But, and then I got set up and targeted for making more money than everybody. I owned like 14 cars at that time. Um, I've had a whole bunch of stuff happen. Like I said, I mean, people try to take half of everything I ever worked for and owned at one point, and I have to prove that they were all liars, right? And it's part of why I do what I do now because I stand up to corruption for a living because, I got targeted by it and, it's just what's happened. The whole thing is, Illuminati, they walked into the picture for me. I never went and bothered nobody. All this corruption walked into the picture for me. Everybody, basically came and bothered me and came my direction. I don't bother anyone. I just mind my own business. I'm a working class man. And, that's the thing. I'm just an example that if I can bounce back from, these kind of depths and going through this much, I mean, I really have to go through it, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I had to sit in jail. I did a 45-day bid. That ain't easy. I had to go through the whole system. I went from the 65-man pod screaming on dudes, I mean, sunning everybody, G checking everybody, holding my own, was basically running everything in there. I was the boss in there like I'm a boss, bro. Like I do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So like I did all that, then I went to Alpha Pod. That was all the highest profile cases. Mine was nothing. Mine was, it was just a joke. It was basically just these people trying to target me and they all worked together and I was just, doing the best that I could to stand up for myself. That's the reality. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, I stand on everything I've ever said and done. I've never done anything wrong. People can't speak on my name, so you can go ahead and miss me with that. And that's why when they go to these chats and stuff and they want to, just start talking, it don't work like that. You never talk while I'm talking. You're not going to interrupt me and you can't speak on me like I told you. There's rules to engagement. There's rules to speaking. So y'all are just going to have to go ahead and up and follow those rules now because you don't have a choice, buddy boy. You understand? So, I mean, people don't have to understand, like, in a lot of cases with stuff like that, I was the victim. I just never play victim and I never allow myself to be a victim. You understand? And that's all it was just me standing up for myself. I did the right thing through and through the entire time, and I'm gonna continue to do the right thing. You feel me? So, like I said, but yeah, I'm not gonna let nobody. I mean, when it's strangers, much less, and I don't know you. I think the Deacon guy is cool. I think he's all right. He said some positive stuff in the chat. Um, but the only thing is that I have to stand up for myself and say the truth. This was not something that they did to everybody. That's the whole point of what I've been trying to say, if y'all would let me talk, for the past few decades. This happened to me. Okay, this was not anyone else on YouTube. None of you all went through anything. That's not what happened. So you got to let people talk and actually give me a chance to speak, because all y'all been running your mouth all day. Like, those are people who go on panels, they run their mouth forever, and they're sitting there going back and forth. I don't waste my time doing that, and I allow every party that's present to speak. It's just now I'm only going to give the link to the people that I want up here. So I already talked to Cyber, right? So me and him are already talking behind the scenes, so we're in touch. So we're connected, we're good. You know what I mean? That's all good business, good stuff. We're tied in now. You feel me? And that's the thing. I've always tried to make real connections with the real people. And the reason why we got along is because, well, we're both real. Like, dude is a stand-up dude. I'm being honest. And see, you all made a career on YouTube getting in arguments and having falling outs. And see, a real man don't do that. As long as somebody shows me respect and is cool, I get along with everybody. That's why this internet stuff you can miss me with, because it's all fake. But let me get back to the topic. My whole point is just that, Deacon's cool. I think Deacon's all right. I think he says a lot of truth to and puts people in their place. I think Deacon is cool, like, straight up. And I'm not saying these things like I don't kiss up. This is genuinely how I feel. But again, as far as what I went through, it was not something that everybody went through. What I went through, my story is outrageous and insane, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to understand, when I say that I'm really, really like a walking miracle, that's what I am. I mean, you got to count the events that I went through. You got to go back and look, and some of it's on video on this channel. And basically, some of the walk that, if you watch the channel and you really, really listen to what's going on, a lot of the walk is on here. But, there was a bunch of channels before this. See, people don't get, I have to start over a million times on here. Okay, I got chased around. I was targeted, followed all over the internet. I had to start over channels. I had channels with over 2,000 subs easily a long time ago. I couldn't hold on to it. I couldn't never build a business because these people wouldn't let me. Just like they wouldn't let me have a job, just like they still won't. And that's okay, because I'm not complaining like these other people. I'm using it and alchemizing it into something positive. But I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. I will never let someone say that everyone went through it. That's a bold-faced lie. No, they didn't. I went through this. And then what happened is everybody started trying to jump on the bandwagon and steal my story. There's people every day that are trying to talk about how they're going to file lawsuits and this and that. And anyone can try to do it, but y'all don't have the federal lawsuit case that I have. And then I even extended it to include a lot more, because I studied all this and figured out how deep the rabbit hole goes. And I studied and figured out the entire system, because that's what I do for a living. Well, like I said, when I file my federal lawsuit, I'm going to be filing a lot of lawsuits. And one of them is going to be probably one of the biggest lawsuits this country and world has ever seen. And it's going to uncover the entire corporate rabbit holes of what's going on in this country and how these companies make their money. Because again, I don't believe that companies make their money selling their fake little products. I think that companies are doing illegal activity and are tied in with these underground illegal organizations. That's why you have hotels that work with gangs, like what they do with the Rosemont in Chicago, with that whole thing with Kaneka Jenkins, the cover up, and Zach TV, what they did with him, because they were trying to cover up the truth. Come on, people, it's easy common sense here, right? So when that dude, when they did what they did with Zach TV, that gang member was in the street doing a devil's satanic dance in the street and throwing up his set or whatever. That means he was working for the government. That's what y'all don't get. That means that like I said, you can see who the enemy is and what's going on clear as day. And there's no fear here. I ain't Zach TV. You got to remember, well, if he did that, that means the gangs were working with the higher ups, the elites, whatever. Because when I say government, it basically means elites, because the government just means the people who pull the string. Your governments are fake and they're all connected. I'm talking about the shadow government that actually makes the decisions and is the ones who are possessed by demons, and they're all evil. So they're human vessels, but they're actually the demons. We have to stand up to, what does it say, the principalities spiritually in this world. Okay, but to say that nothing is ever physical, that's a lie, because trust me, as Batman, I've had to do a lot of physical stuff, a whole lot. As a matter of fact, it's been nonstop physical. It's been nonstop, and I've just completely stood my ground and won against everybody. So everybody's shook and they're scared now. That's the truth. You feel me? So but it is spiritual too, and it's a lot of it, but that's my point. Like, that's $1 billion industry if you study that case and what they were doing trying to cover that up and what actually happened. And it's very clear that that hotel was, participating, right, in what they were doing, which again, that's $1 billion illegal industry. So the elites had a vested interest in trying to cover it up. So when Zach TV started talking publicly about it, they started calling him same type of behavior, right? Started doing all this same behavior, gang stalking, calling him, you know what I mean, saying ominous messages to him, saying illegal statements. And you have to ask yourself, where does all that come from? The thing I'm trying to get the public to do is just wake up and stand up and open your mouth. I mean, there's nothing to be scared of here. Batman already stepped forward and took the risks so that, just like Jesus Christ, did what he did on the cross for us. I did the same thing and picked up my cross, literally the same thing. I'm God's second son. I picked up my cross and bear it for all of you so that there's no fear anymore. I don't want anyone to be scared to speak up. I want people to talk. I'm willing to pay any price and any cost on this planet. Literally, there's no fear here. I'm willing to pay any price to see to it that people are free and my people start rising and they start opening their mouth. You got to start opening your mouth and standing up. See, I'm a real historical figure. I'm making history in front of you people. So that's my deal. I would never let anyone lie and say, oh, well, they did a lot of stuff to a lot of people. That's a lie. See, that's the thing. Y'all came out of left field, out of nowhere. I don't even know who half y'all are. So, like, we cool, we good, but I'm not gonna let you lie. Nah, y'all came out of left field, bro. I ain't never heard of none of you. None of you. All these people weren't even on the internet when we was doing this. So how you gonna come into my realm and then say, oh, this is what it is? And no, that's not what happened, bro. Y'all wasn't even on here like that. None of you folks, you all new to this. None of you folks was on YouTube when I was on here. None of you. So don't tell me about what's happened when you weren't around. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have a right to comment on that. Like, I'm gonna G check on that real quick. Yeah. Nah. I stand on business. So like I said, nah, that's the thing. People need to not open their mouth about things that don't concern them. You don't know nothing about what I went through, bro. And it's extremely serious. You feel me? So like I said, like, that's the thing, man. People need to really, really, like, speak with respect, and it's just that simple. And you got to watch what you say and how you coming and how you talking. That's the difference. See, y'all over there, you do it to each other. You over there arguing and griping. It's all good. I appreciate when people take my side or take up for me and see what it is. But, I'm not, this is not high school. This is not a popularity contest. See, that's the problem, is they wanted to all look for an excuse. They wanted to go slander me because I wouldn't bow down to their lies and their delusion and nonsense. I don't care about that. See, that's weird. You understand? I don't do weird. So, like I said, no, I'm the one who went through everything. I was ground zero. Now, are there people going through little attributes of what's happening? And is it encircling the red triangles who I'm the only person who exposed? Not you all, me. I'm who went public. I'm who actually labeled this name, right? And said, this is what I'm calling them. And this is who they are, right? They targeted me. All that other stuff, let me tell you the truth. That was a sideshow circus act. They're doing that on purpose to get the attention off me so that people like you will take the bait and say silly statements like that and say, oh, they did it to a lot of people. No, they didn't, bro. Y'all get an occasional once in a while somebody did something miscellaneous. It's nowhere near what happened with me. That's why when I go to any show, you see they're trying to get on the panel because they don't want me to talk because I know too much and they know I'm saying the truth, right? And they're in the chat and they ain't treating me the way they do anybody. It's me only. That's the truth. Okay. Now, like what Cyber went through, he definitely went through that and he did the right thing. He handled it right, and I give him all credit. I don't ever take credit away from what people go through, right? So I give him all the credit. And I think that he did a great job. I think he handled everything the right way. I think he's been a man about it through and through. I mean, he even said, I'm not trying to, like cause any issues over here or stir up anything. I like that. I think he handled it well. So I'm not saying people don't go through things, but I'm saying I'm not going to let anybody lie and say, oh, well, they did it to a lot of people. That's a lie, bro. That's a lie. Them little things that you talking about, that's nothing. That has nothing to do with what happened with me. There's a huge difference. See, that's the thing. They want to compare apples to oranges. They want to compare like a Honda to a Lamborghini. Like, nah, that's not what happened. So, all that other stuff, right? That was just, y'all may have experienced a little bit of back and forth, right? With the red triangles, right? Because they were trying to go to these other whatever sectors and other creators. They were trying to go over there to their channels because what they wanted was fake power, okay, and they wanted it at any cost. And that was the silly decision that they've all made. And it's basically, they've indicted themselves and incriminated themselves, and they're all going to go to prison now. Okay, but they're not going to go to prison because of some little miscellaneous stuff, right, that concerns some of you on this network. They're going to go to prison because of what they did to me. You catch my drift here? So, like I said, that now is proven that that was a fallacy, what he stated. Okay. No, there was not. They did not do a lot to other people. Okay. Whatever they were doing outside of that was a distraction to get people to take the bait so that people would say that to try to get what? Think about it. How do criminals operate? To try to get the spotlight off of me, who was ground zero, right? That's what all this is about. You understand? To try to get the spotlight off of me so they could try to cover up what they did so that people would say stuff like that and say, well, these other people went through it too. No, you all get on panels and you all have been acting since day one. We have no proof, no validity that one of your claims is real. So when someone does that, I call that an agent. And that sounds fishy to me. You see, I don't believe you. I can't take you at your word because what I went through is documented on video, every single part of it. You see the difference here? I'm not making a claim. I have something that's backed by documented evidence. See, that's the thing. The channel is perfect for evidence, actually. Okay, and I can present that because the lawyer can just have me send him videos. I've done it before in the past. Y'all don't seem to get it, bro. Like we operate totally different. We operate efficiently. Like no, lawyers they'll have you send them videos for evidence. I was gonna sit down. Like I'm gonna have access to an attorney for a long time when Christina and I get married. I'm gonna sit down with that attorney and show him everything, and then we're gonna figure out how we want to present it. And if we have to transcribe and type, no problem. You understand? So but we're going to have exhibits of evidence, a lot of evidence. I mean, the members of the Red Triangles, I mean, I have your voicemails right there. I mean, that's automatic conviction in the case. That's common sense. I know how this works already. I don't need to ask. It's not a guess of the future. I mean, no, law is just a crystal clear factual thing. Like, no, they have to do their job. They have to do it the right way. Law works one way, and that's it. No, if I have evidence like that, because y'all keep slipping up and you can't control your envy and jealousy, and you go and you left me voicemails like that, saying the things that you said, right? All that is the best evidence I could have. So everything that I'm doing, it's working. right? And that's the thing. It's hard to keep evidence because, I mean, they're not providing me a budget. My inheritance was stolen. So they're not giving me that. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're just trying to find an excuse so that, phones can keep getting messed up. So I'll lose evidence like that. That's really necessary and important. And I'm not worried about a lawsuit. I'm not worried about any of that because I know karma is real and I know God is real. God is handling everything. You understand? But that's what I'm saying. Like when somebody goes to a panel and then times it, and then they want to say the first thing out their mouth is, well, they did a lot to a lot of people. No, they didn't. I don't know where you're getting that from. That's not what happened, bro. See, that's the thing. Like what goes on the rest of the internet, like I don't know what you're talking about. So you expect me, check this out. If the trolls put up those videos, they really think that people ain't it's like I'm a genius, bro. Nothing gets by me. So these trolls, you don't think that I'm aware that they do that on purpose? Why do you think y'all put up those videos and show people when they're angry, upset, talking about these individuals and what they've done? Because it's a distraction. You're trying to make it look like you do all these things to, and it's concerning everyone. None of these people went through anything. What? No, I'm not going to let you lie. Groovy Jimmy didn't go through anything. Groovy Jimmy, he just can't control his emotions. And he was upset because of a little bit of interaction, right, with the red triangles, with trolls. Okay. But as far as everything you even described, you just said some basic stuff. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. What I went through is on an astronomical level. Okay, so that's why it's laughable to me. So that's all I'm saying is any lie, I don't care who you are, I don't care if we cool or not, I'm going to correct you, at least on my program, and clarify the reality of what's happened. And that's the problem with this network is they want to treat it like it's a popularity contest, like we're in high school and we're grown men and adults. They want you to kiss up, they want you to take their side, they want you to say everything they only want to hear and be a robot. And when you don't side with their delusion that doesn't exist, they get mad at you and then they start doing this weirdo stuff. See my point? Like, no, bro. If it was everyone, then those people would have moved on and went on about their business. They never did, and then God said, "Here's your karma on a silver platter," and God delivered their karma, and they all got what they deserved, as I told you, like they'll continue to. Anybody that goes against me, you go against God. You're gonna lose. I don't care who you are. So tread lightly and start learning. That's what y'all need to do. See, that's the thing. People thought that they could do whatever they wanted towards me and get away with it. This new era of time, they're finding out that because of God, there's repercussions from God when you try to mess with me at all. Anything you send my way, God is definitely gonna ride for me and defend me. See, that's the thing. My faith is real. So I'm not going to let anybody steal my story or try to dim my light. And that's the thing. Why would you chime in right there? See, that right there is suspect. And that's a dude who goes on panels and he automatically wants to talk and act like he receives respect. Respect is earned, not given. I don't respect you yet. I don't know who you are. You clearly have an agenda. Just because you go in a chat and act like you defended me a little, I don't need your defense. That's cool. You could do that, but I didn't ask you to do that. You did that of your own accord. That doesn't mean that, oh, we're homies now and I'm going to buy whatever nonsense you feed me. See, you don't know Tyree Sneed yet. You don't know me at all. You understand? So that's why I say when we talk, people should be talking direct. You feel me? Because there's a lot of ignorance online and a lot of people just want to run their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's cute. You can think that your opinion matters, but when Tyree Sneed and Batman walk in the room, it's a whole different story because you find out real quick your opinions don't matter. None of you. None of you really matter. You're not even a part of this conversation. You know what I mean? When I'm on panels, I'm just trying to get my message out and be polite and be nice and get out of there, just like anyone would. Just like he was talking about when you go to court, you just, you go to court and you try to do what you need to do there and leave. Nobody wants to just be in there all the time. It's stressful, you know? So that's now corrected. You stand corrected on that. And that was my only issue. Other than that, like they're all cool. Okay. But I mean, nah, bro. I was ground zero for all this, man. What I went through is, I mean, the story is on my channel. I mean, it's on the camera, and then there's videos that are privated that I still have. that show more of it in detail. What I've been through because of YouTube is insane. I mean, there has never been anyone on YouTube that went through anything close to what I've been through. So that's the thing. No, y'all are trying to take little minuscule, small nonsense things, like I said, like a troll coming in a chat, and compare it to something that was like an epic struggle. And like I said, I'm literally lucky that I'm able to even talk to y'all right now. Okay, that's the reality. And everything that these cowards did, they did it hiding at a distance. Like, so they were trying to puppeteer and have control over me and my life while they hide from me. That's crazy, bro. And that's the most cowardly thing you can do. And not only are you going to be accountable in a court of law, right? You're going to be held accountable in a court of law, and your reputation is sullied forever, because now your reputation is the truth, that you were all scared of me and everything that you tried to organize, even when you used corrupt ties to try to set me up like in Green Bay, and you owe me that $800 and y'all are going to have to pay me it. You're going to have to give me it because the court system's going to say so. You know, the people don't understand. The court system, the actual courtroom has no power. That's not how it works. The courtroom has to do what they're told. The law works a certain way, and if they don't, well, then you can file another lawsuit and you can go public, and then you can file a Supreme Court lawsuit, and you can actually like supersede any courtroom. The courtroom doesn't have a choice but to do their job. They're just peons. They don't matter. Straight up. You don't have to kiss up to no judge or no D. There's a bunch of judges who are corrupt. Okay, trust me. Batman knows what he's talking about. There's lawyers who are corrupt everywhere. There's DAs who are corrupt. The courtroom down here is the most corrupt courtroom in the country. I had lawyers try to literally target me and try to antagonize me for a reason, bro. Come on, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Did y'all go through that? No. Did you go through what I went through with that truck? No. Did you go through what I went through when these people called Seton Hospital? No. So don't tell me that people are going through things when they're not. You haven't been through anything. Quit crying. Okay, straight up. And there's no holding back. There's telling you how it is and the actual truth, the reality. You know, it's cold hard math over here. It's the truth. Because like I said, when you can walk in my shoes, come talk to me. See, that's the thing. These people, they want, just like over there when I went on these panels. So now y'all want to talk to me a different way. But when I went over there on Groovy Jimmy's panel, y'all didn't want to treat me with respect. See, that's why I give credit to Cyber, because if it wasn't for him acting the way he did and showing me just basic humane respect and keeping his word and saying, hey, I'm not going to let nobody on this panel while you up here. And that's why I said that specifically. He did it all right. But when he let the other one come up there, that's why we don't. That's why I want no one on the panel, because all they're going to do is start sending agents to cause confusion, even if it's unintentional. They're going to say something that's going to distort the truth, and I don't want that. It doesn't matter to me. It's not a big deal. It's not going to change anything or the public's perception. But I want the public to be able to really understand word for word what's happening here. I don't want any confusion to work around, because that's the reason why we don't have trolls on my program, and we never will. Why we don't talk to nobody like that? Because why would you take people who are going to spread misinformation and just start running their mouth to cause confusion, right? When you're trying to say a direct, clear message, it's like going to a pond and you trying to just, skip a rock on the pond, and then all of a sudden, all these frog trolls come out and they start skipping 8 million rocks on the pond, to where now you can't find the one that you're skipping because there's a bunch. So it looks like it's raining rocks. You see what I'm saying? That's what they do basically. And I don't respect anyone. And that tells me a lot about your character if you're going to try to take away from my story right away. Okay. So, like, I don't like that. And again, this has nothing to do with cyber. Okay. I've already said what this is about, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's never personal with me, but I just have to call people out. Like, don't speak on, on things you don't know about. Like, basic stuff. What you're talking about, that has nothing to do with what's happened here, bro. Y'all are in some other weird sector. I ain't never heard of none of those folks. So they can't sit there and pretend, oh, we're famous, or we're you, or we're someone, or we're entitled to an opinion, because the truth is you're not. And I don't care how you take it. That's just the truth. I'm the original on here. That's what the whole problem is. Y'all is literally trying to hang out at trolls channels that are nobodies and noobs and new to this game and have no name in this game, but you want to boycott mine. See, it just goes to show y'all are a bunch of people who, I mean, honestly, you can't think too well because you want to only side with and go talk to the people who kiss up to you and tell you what you want to hear. It's okay to go to Groovy Jimmy's panel for y'all because y'all control, y'all can clown, y'all can say delusion, and it's all good. Nobody checks you for it. You see, but over here, it's a different story with me. See, we don't play like that. Now, that's the second time I don't have to tell the people coming from that channel this. So it just goes to show we a lot different. Our character is a lot different. Groovy Jimmy puts up with a lot of things and tolerates a lot of things and treatment and behavior that I wouldn't tolerate at all. Not only in my program, but in reality, I don't tolerate that from nobody. We have different morals and principles, brother. And that's why, if you want to get real, we're just not the same. Like I said, Groovy Jimmy is cool. I believe he's a little bit younger than me. He has a lot to learn about things. I think he's an all right dude. I'm here to help if he wants advice or anything like that, because that's what a grown man has to offer is advice. But he doesn't seem like someone that really wants to learn. And I think anyone who gives them credit otherwise is lying to themselves. It's kind of like with Tone Space. I had to correct him today. You can say, I mean, to say that Tone Space is a smart individual, what? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, you gotta get in touch with what sector these folks come from. I mean, there's a guy named Lee Owen Styles, okay, that we know what he went through and all that, and he was accepting money from the Red Triangles to be jealous and envious of me and say lies about me that weren't true before everything happened with him, whatever he went through, right? So and still much love for Steve's, it's nothing but love, you know what I mean? But, like I like Steve's. I thought Steve's was an all right dude, you know what I mean? Despite however he felt, or he just felt the need to, say what he said, and it is what it is. He wanted to hate basically, you know what I mean? That was him. That was his thing. So how do I put it? He's got videos on his channel right now that prove that Tone Space is a member of the Red Triangles, along with the dude in Benton Harbor, Michigan, right? And they prove that they contributed to what he went through, right? So they could be facing charges on that. Okay, you have to understand. Tone Space is definitely a part of this. That's the thing is, you're giving him a pass. When he issued the statement publicly in New York in front of you on that block, that was an illegal statement, I call it. We know what it's really called. I just don't use that language on my channel because I'm smart. You see what I'm saying? This is the thing. You all wanted to plot on me. They've been looking for a way. They do not want to see me succeeding. They are so mad that I built a business and know how to run a business. And now I'm going to follow all the rules strategically, right? And at the end of the day, all y'all are not following the rules of this network, right? So what do you think is going to happen to all y'all's channels? Yep. What do you think I'm coming for now? Common sense. I ain't got to spell it out. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to do everything right. And, pretty soon, like all that fake stuff, I mean, it's not going to be on YouTube very much longer because all those channels are going to get removed. Common sense. That's what time it's for. I'm taking over this entire network, like I told you. It's no holds bar. You feel me? Now, if I'm cool with you, then, you good. You feel me? But like, other than that, all these other folks, I don't have no loyalty to y'all. I don't know you. You know what I mean? So that's the thing people don't get. Like it's now turning. See how I told you things change. Now the tables are turning. Now it's becoming. They're trying to get away from the trolls and the weirdos, and now they're gravitating towards me. Number one. Number two. On top of that, right? Because I don't care about that, right? But number two, on top of that, now you're seeing who the authority is, and now people got to really watch what they say to me. Just like I said, nah, bro. Now I have all the power. You see what I'm saying? That's how God works. See, when you have faith in God, man, you can move mountains, bro. That's what y'all don't get. I have to every day. I have to move with God, bro, because I didn't have a choice. The only reason I'm here is because of God. That's the thing. I'm not just talking. See. That's the thing. They want to downplay what I went through, bro. Like that's so no. We don't allow that at all. That's not respectful, bro, at all. We don't play like that over here. Nah, bro, you ain't listening. Like, I literally, right, to be talking to you right now is like a zombie talking to you, like an immortal vampire. That's what I am. You all want to downplay it, and it's kind of getting old, bro. Like at some point, you got to accept reality. Yeah, the guy talking to you is an immortal. And there's some videos that prove to the proven fact in front of you on my channel. See, if you'd stop talking and running your mouth and watch the channel and be quiet, you might learn something. Okay? We're not the same. Don't think for 1 second that any of you human beings are like me. We're not the same. If we was the same, you would be setting world records like me. Like I said, within the last few months, I broke the world record for pull-ups. I said it was 105, a guy from Asia or China. I did 200 pull-ups on camera. It's on this channel. So I broke the world record for pull-ups. That's a world record, and these people still want to downplay it and try. They would, if they could, they'd still try to talk to me like I'm them, like I haven't accomplished anything. What, dude? Like I said, fresh out of jail back in the past, I set and broke the world record and set it at 90-pound dumbbell curls. Still hold that. They was using fake weights for that website I already talked about, right? Expose that, right? So, furthermore, right? What was the other record? There's another one. What is the other one? Well, I don't know. But the fact is, I'm about to break the dip world record too, right around the corner, because it's under 1 minute. You got to do like, I think it's like 109 or something. I'm going to do more than that. All right. It's coming right around the corner. So I'm about to break that one. That's going to be, I'm thinking, my third world record. And these are all tangible and they're all on camera. Nobody can say nothing. They want to sit there and lie. I don't care. I don't look for validation. I validated myself. I know what I'm doing. See my point? Like, all these people look up to me. They look up to me. Steve's looked up to me. It's just the truth. People look up to me. People come to me for the answers. You know what I mean? People, everybody now, they want to copy my paradigm. They want to copy my model. Like, for what? I hear all of them. I hear Cyrax. He's whining about, man, I was so close to, having a YouTube channel and getting monetized. They all is so jealous they can't see straight because they all wanted to be doing what I'm doing. And everyone was against me. I had all odds against me. They've done everything they can, thrown everything my direction they possibly can think of to try to stop me completely. Okay. And not just on here, I mean completely. And literally, I'm not only here and alive, but I'm winning and succeeding and thriving on this platform. And my next check is already up over 115 bucks. Why? Because of God. I give all credit and glory to God and to myself because I did this myself. Don't get it twisted, but I give all credit and glory to God. No, see, I don't let people lie. That's the difference. I don't let people run their mouth or interject in something that has nothing to do with them. I'm not going to let no scrubs take away from my story and try to tell my story for me or downplay it or dilute it and say that any other nonsense has anything to do with what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with this. What I went through stands on its own. You understand? So don't speak on me. You don't know me. That's why I tell people keep my name out your mouth. You feel me? I don't care who you are. So that's the thing. People start running their mouth on YouTube, then they think I respect them. I don't know you to respect you. Like that's earned. And that's not something you can, necessarily earn online. Like, you know what I mean? I have some respect for Cyber already because he showed me respect that I've earned and deserve, and he let me talk and he listened. And I just like I think the dude is a cool dude. I think more people on this network should act like him and be like him. That's my genuine feeling and truth. Like that's how I really feel, and it's common sense. They always have something to say, but none of it makes any sense. They said, "Oh, Sneed would befriend Cyber, so I'm not supposed to have any friends." You see how jaded and delusional their perspective is? They have a jaded lens. They see the world through a jaded lens. Who asked you for your opinion if it's not going to make sense? Why am I different when I'm a human being? What are you talking about, dude? Are you okay over there? And this is what you got to ask all of them because they really online fronting, but yet when we walk around these streets in reality, everyone's quiet as a mouse. Nobody would ever talk to me like that or treat me that way. And I get the same rights as every human being. And I'm a product of adversity. I've been through unfair treatment my entire life. You think I'm going to keep going through it, especially on here? Hell no. No, no. Now the tables have turned. Now it's my turn to win. See the point? Oh, I'm gonna always get treated fairly and humanely. I stand on that. That's why Batman stand on business. So what you talking about? You don't dictate Nothing for me. You understand? Just be quiet. You can't say nothing about me, bro. None of y'all, bro. I'm the symbol of success. Is you crazy, man? Like, that's what I'm saying. Dudes who can't afford a hot dog is getting on panels with me and want to run their mouth. And they talking to a grown man that owns billions in equity, mansion and estate, over 2,000 in jewelry, my own car lot I pay over $100 for every month. I got a Porsche in there I pay 25 racks for cash, right? And because a mechanic down here was jealous, he messed up that Porsche. And they act like everything I've done doesn't exist, but I'm still wealthier than all you celebrities combined, your entire government, inequity, whoever. And I got set up and targeted, so I was forced to spend my money, and then I still went and sold 50-acre properties for over $100,000. I did all these things, like was in Vegas with over 60K. I was making and spending 10 racks a month the whole time. Y'all see me with over 20K. Like, went to Vegas twice. Like, what are you talking about? Probably made it over 200,000 just gambling. Like, what are you talking about? The life I've lived is surreal. What I've done is absolutely of astronomical proportions. I'm not on here bragging. I've kept my mouth shut long enough. Now I'm going to tell you who I really am because I'm getting tired of it. You know, the fact is that most of you, you're below me. You shouldn't even be on the panel with me. Let's get real. I was the son of a UT graduate lawyer. Y'all ain't that. My grandfather was a Supreme Court judge. Y'all ain't that. What? I've opened my own car lots, actual car lots. My lot now is something that I just pay for and own. I don't do nothing with it. It's just my vehicles that I own. So what are you talking about? It ain't making no sense, brother. I got mineral rights, oil royalties. Like I said, I got a website worth almost 2 G's right now. What? I'm the CEO of my own record label, Cashless Bane. When I'm talking about that I'm trying to make money and whatever, and I look at it like I'm struggling because I'm not making the money that I just was recently, just before this, when I was cooking. Because like I said, the red triangle stopped every opportunity for me. That's what narcissists do. Big deal. Where I'm at, they're not going to let me work down here. Common sense. Because I ain't from here like that and I don't look like them. That's just how it is. We all know what it is. So, I mean, what are you talking about? That doesn't mean I'm struggling. That just means that this is what it is in this situation here. That's what it's going to be. It's never going to change. Come on, bro. I've been in the valley for years on and off. I know exactly how they are down here. I knew it when I came back down here. I already knew what it was going to be. You understand? So what did I do? I went to the drawing board. I invested all my money and said, I'm going to be Batman. And that was my life's purpose. I found my purpose. So it all worked out for me. You know what I mean? Like, no, I max out on here. I make as much money as I possibly can. I've made quite a few checks on here. I continue to, and I will continue to. And there's nothing you can do about it. So you don't have to sit down now and you're going to have to just watch me succeed, you know what I mean, and cope with my success. Because now it's really not going to stop and I'm just going to turn it up a notch. You feel me? And it's crazy because, like I said, they don't even pay attention. We right around the corner, bro, from having everything a-okay, clean slate. Everything is about to be straight. Then I got Christina, my girlfriend. She's negotiating a settlement. We're supposed to be guaranteed over $6.8 million. We're looking at potentially $30 million to $50 million. And y'all want to run your mouth right now. What? See, that's the thing. That's how real bosses move. Real bosses work on projects. So if you forget all the money I worked for, right? No, I'm not struggling. It all went into a stock. Remember? Yeah. And the stock, you all found out illegally, that also gets included in the lawsuit. Yeah, and that stock was what? App Harvest. I'm now involved in a settlement lawsuit because I had over 70,000 shares. Because I took it upon myself to say, I'm going to work and buy every share that I can. So all my money I worked for all these past years went towards that stock. And I made a living off of it for a long time. So, no, I made profits. I succeeded, right? I yielded profits. So I did well. I did the right thing. I did not fail. It just because the company went bankrupt, it was still a successful venture because I just proved that if you listen, right? So if you let me talk and you stop just being, however you feel because you upset with my success and you actually let me talk and accept reality and just listen to what I'm telling you, you'll hear that the story is way different than what other people want to say. I don't need to correct anyone. If you want to listen to delusional folks, be my guest and you will fail too. You go against me, you go against God. I don't care who it is. If you listen to delusional folks and you listen to the red triangles, then common sense, I mean, God's obviously going to see that and deliver karma for that as well. You don't listen to delusional folks. That's just common sense. If you lack that, then, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like I said, evil people get what they deserve on this planet. That's how this world spins and works. Sorry. That's how it is. So, like I said, I'm in the middle of a stock settlement lawsuit. Okay. I don't know if I'll make anything. I don't know if I'll make much, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have to pay me something. I heard the figure 15 cents a share at one point. They're trying to only do it for certain dates, but even the paperwork I've already given them, I'm way ahead of everything. I already gave them the paperwork a long time ago, right? It should have been long enough. They should have gotten back to me. I ain't heard nothing. I've emailed. They don't say nothing. Okay. And I smell something fishy with that too. There's always some kind of corruption or something weird. Like they just want to keep my money from me. But the point is, even with the statements, I gave them all the bank statements. They got all the paperwork, everything they need. They got as right. So they said they'd let me know and holler when they're ready. Right. So I mean, even in that, it says in one of the statements, I think I had up to like 30,000 shares. So I mean, 15 cents for 30,000 shares is whatever. But then I would have to try to file a countersuit still because you're not paying me for what I got. I got 70,000 shares, and just like I told you on the phone when I called y'all straight up. Pay me for every single share that I bought and worked for. Stop trying to find a nuance and a way to mess me over and pay me my money straight up. See, I'm different than the rest of these so-called Americans in the world. I stand on business and I stand up for mine, and I'm a fool with mine. See, that's the thing. I ain't never been played out of a red cent by nobody. I don't let nobody play with my money. I don't let nobody tell me what to do. I'm the mob. I'm an actual gangster, and I literally run this world. So remember next time when I hop on a panel, don't think we're equal because we're not. I'm the real Batman. I do the real thing. Yeah. So all that stuff you talking, that's cool. But all the years that y'all have sat back and been drinking beers and joking around on panels and talking smack to each other, I was in the street putting work in. I'm a machine and an animal about mine. Okay. I come from the real hoods and the real ghettos. You do not know what I know. You do not walk this walk. None of you. You understand? And I don't care who it is. You could take any dude. He could think he was the toughest dude. If you put him around me, he's going to get sunned. He's going to learn real quick who the boss is and who's in charge. And you can ask any of these people how I roll. That's who I am. I'm a man's man, and I'm very scary. I'm not a nice guy. Okay, because I don't need to be. Okay, I'm nice to people who deserve it and are nice to me. I am a nice guy. Don't get it twisted. I'm like the best person you'll ever meet. I got the biggest heart ever. I'm all about God. I'm God's son. I'm the Messiah, literally. But I'm literally the Savior. But I'm not going to let people, think that they can take advantage of my kindness and take my kindness for weakness no more. That I'm not going to do. So now I got to just show everybody the old me and show them who I really am. Yeah, everybody. I don't care who you are. Feel me? So now y'all get the old me. You know what I mean? And trust me, the old me ain't nothing to play with. It's ugly. Feel me? So, like I said, people all know what it is. Y'all all know what it is. Everything I just laid out right there, you know that takes lifetimes to accumulate that kind of wealth. And I do it. I did it with hard work, and it took years, but I did it in my sleep. I'm proud of what I got, bro. I'm talking about money to me. I'm 35 and I'm retired, bro. Like I'm all right. You know what I mean? I just need donations and that's it. That's all I need. I just need donations to contribute to the income that I make on here because this company don't pay me right, which is going to be talked about in the lawsuit, just like the $1,000 bonus that I was supposed to get. Because my girlfriend and future wife, Christina, she sent the gifts on here. We did the rules of what it said, and they didn't give me anything. And then they tried to hide it like the gifts didn't come through. So that's going to be brought up in the lawsuit too. I'm pretty sure that they're stealing payments that I've made, right? So all that is going to be investigated the minute the federal lawsuit is filed. So you can look forward to that. We're going to figure out why I'm not getting paid and why you're not giving me the money I earn. Don't worry about that. I'm not even worried about that. Okay. So we already know what YouTube does. Like I said, they target people. They want to sit there and they want to play games with people. They try to agitate and get you upset. This all comes from YouTube. That's why they're always calling and talking to YouTube. And I think the CEO of YouTube, right, has everything to do with this. And one of these people who's a part of the Red Triangles, and I don't know, they don't even talk online no more. They must have gotten their karma a long time ago. They said that the CEO of YouTube was a witch. That's what they said. And I believe it. So I think that's what all this has to do, and that's why they've been doing all that witchcraft nonsense. They do it 24 hours a day, right? Not on random folks. On who? On me. So you don't get what I came up against. So don't ever say, "Oh, other people are going through. You ain't going through nothing, bro. These people spent 24 hours a day worried about me. I don't even know why y'all have videos. I think that's all fake. And the thing is, too, if y'all get caught acting that you did a video acting and it wasn't real feelings or emotions, that could be felony charges too, and that would be collusion and conspiracy. See, that's the thing. People need to really tread lightly. Like, if you speak my name at all, you may be indicting yourself. You need to be careful what you say when you mention my name. I'm telling you straight up, and the lawyer is going to tell y'all even more. The minute I talk to a lawyer, he's going to be on the phone with all y'all talking to you direct, straight up. Then I'm going to be able to get your contact information straight up and ask you and have these lawyers contact you and tell you do not use his likeness, delete every video you have right now, right? Or a matter of fact, leave it up for evidence until we get through with this lawsuit. They're probably going to tell you you can't even remove it until we get through with the lawsuit, and then all y'all going to have to take all that nonsense off YouTube down, because you can't even go on YouTube right now and see anything positive or the truth about me or my life, because these people got so much hate in their heart, right, that they got to go spew that delusion on YouTube and then think they've accomplished something or done something towards me. You know what you did towards me? You propelled me to stardom. Thanks. That's all you did. Nobody believes a word you saying because none of it makes sense. See, this is the thing. When I have public panels, what you all should have done is found someone who can debate and bring facts. But no, you want to just be upset and type in a chat and make blanket statements and say names and be immature, say things that all apply to you. What does that have to do with me? What they said in the chat about me today, I mean, if I got a girlfriend, how would that be the case with me? You're not making any sense, bro. Feel me? That's corny, bro. And that's not cool, man. There's nothing okay about that. You understand? And like I said, when a minute I show the lawyer all this evidence, that lawyer is going to make sure that you cease all of that activity. There's going to be a cease and desist order issued. All legal, all legally bound, buddy. So you're not going to have a choice. You can't go to a chat room anymore. If any of you go to a chat room after that, right? If you go to a chat room, you say anything to me at all. I mean, you even say my name, you contact me, anything disparaging. Like, if it's anywhere crossing the line at all, and it's one of you, especially if you remember the red triangles, oh, that's immediate warrant, jail sentence, more time added to your sentence. You understand? Like I said, the system doesn't play. You understand? Once they have a case and you figure out all the evidence necessary for it. Once all the court proceedings happen and everything, they're going to tell all y'all how it's going to go. And I think a lot of you, they're going to revoke internet access completely if they can. hmm You feel me? For those of you who, like, are going to be coming to court, because like I said, I mean, God is pissed. God is not playing. God continues to deliver. So, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, honestly, like, court is the last thing any of these people have to worry about, because God just keeps on setting examples. That's the truth. Real talk. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like, that's the thing. Y'all wanted to get online. You wanted to talk crazy. I ain't never let nobody or had nobody talk to me like that, ever. That is not about to start becoming a habit. Y'all been doing that stuff too long. It's weird, and you have not said anything to me. Like I said, I'm in these streets every day. People are quiet as a mouse. They come to me with respect. I help people. Like, reality is all that matters. All that stuff online, bro, that's some fake stuff. You are not doing anything but doing it to yourself. And you're indicting yourself on federal charges and incriminating yourself. So please keep that up. You're giving me what I want, okay, sweet pea? That's what y'all do, sweet cakes. All right? You feel me? So, don't get too sweet over there. You know what I mean? You're gonna mess around and turn into a real Eminem, like the Eminem commercials. Start sitting there and talking about Tyree then, right? Y'all funny as hell, man. So like I said, bro, you see it, I already got it all. I already did my thizzle. I already did my thing, man. I've done it all, bro. You feel me? These people don't have a clue, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I'm a living legend, man. I ain't never come on here and brag. I ain't had to show out. I ain't had to act. This is who I really am. All it is now you're actually getting a chance to hear me talk. The only difference today was that a grown man, right, allowed me to speak. And since he allowed me to speak without interruption, we got a clear point of view and more clarity on who I am and what's going on and who other people are. Like I said, as far as Tone Space, I'm not going to sit here and let a member of the Red Triangles lie. I'm not going to sit here and let anyone say that he's something he's not. The dude is a stalker. Okay, he's a criminal. He's committed tons of felonies. Okay, he's weird. He has serious issues and problems, and you can see that. There's videos out that literally prove that he's demonically possessed. Okay. And that's all he is. It also proves all these videos that he's a coward, that he's very scared all the time. He's scary. And that's the truth about him. That he goes online, he woofs, and he takes orders from people who don't have any money, and he will say things that aren't true. He'll lie in a group, right? And I mean, all those people do acts of domestic, you know what. So you have to understand that, when we get in the court system and I say, well, this is what these people have done and issued illegal statements that they're going to keep doing towards me for the past, I don't know how many years, right? There's a word that's called, and it starts with a T. And I'm not going to say it on this network because I like my business and I'm going to keep my channel and my livelihood. But it starts with a T. And the minute they hear that word, they're going to change the whole proceedings and say, okay, so this is like the most serious case that you can possibly have. See the point? See all that other stuff that y'all talking about, trying to use these terminologies and make it sound cute and normalize stuff. That's all for the birds. That was so that y'all could cover up what you did to me. And I'll take it as far that there's probably people on these different panels that have a vested interest that will do that, that will go in the chat, act like they're defending me, and then go on a panel and say something to try to downplay and dim my light and dim the light of my story. And I'm not going to let you do it. Y'all ain't slick, man. Go back to the drawing board. Like I'm not hearing it, bro. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta really, really be careful how you speak to me, though. I'm not these other folks, man. I constantly have to tell people that, man. It's just crazy how, in reality, it's just so much different. I ain't gotta explain nothing, man. Y'all know what it is. Like I said, nah, bro. I don't gotta keep going over the past. Like I said, like I have not let anything slide. We run the streets. Everyone is shook. Everyone. That's the state of reality. You know what I mean? You got to remember with me, I mean, I'm a street dude. I ain't never had to run to nobody for my problems. I ain't never ran and filed no reports. I'm just saying for me, I ain't never ran to no courtrooms. I'm a little different. This a lot different ball game with me. Let's get real with ourselves. I don't do no talking over here. See, all the things y'all been saying and all that, all y'all don't come from that, but I really do. That's who I'm really built like that. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be funny because, like I said, it's like a goldfish having a conversation with a lion, and you goldfish been running your mouth for a long time, a whole lot. Oh no, I don't get emotional. I get tactical. I get smart. I don't. You don't ever hear me talk about what I'm gonna do. You don't ever hear me talk crazy. You don't ever hear me talk greasy. You hear me talk calmly and efficiently, and then I respond with action every time. Right? Like I said, talking crazy to me, if you ain't figured out by now, after all the examples I've set and all the examples God has set, then I give up. Anybody talking to me crazy right now, they clearly got nothing going for them and they miserable. Because if you appreciate anything, right, and you got love for anything, or like you got anything going for you, or you able to build anything, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in that position? Why would you do that to yourself? That's like civilians trying to speak to me. I mean, if they knew better and they knew anything about me, they would know the position they're putting themselves in the minute you even try to talk to me or conversate with me, because you should know at this point who I am. There's no hype over here. Okay. If anything, these people don't have a clue who I am, and I use that to my advantage. Y'all can't even imagine how deep the rabbit hole goes with me. You, in your wildest dreams, you couldn't imagine a you know what like me, like Tupac told y'all. Y'all is funny, okay, to be talking about me. Like I said, I'm someone nobody ever says my name. My name literally like represents fear, especially now. You understand? No, you're not listening, bro. For the last time, I'm the real Batman. Everything I do is real. I'm living real life. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, when I was in jail, that was real time. You understand? I had to really hold my own and stand up to the biggest dudes everywhere I went and back them down. And they all backed down. See the difference? We're not the same, Wody. You understand? When's the last time you heard it wasn't nobody on here moving like that. I'm not going to talk about certain people because I don't want to, but I'm just saying, ain't none of y'all, no, none of y'all moving like me. So what are you talking about? The truth is, I have so much power, bro, that everything I do, I can do through God. I don't have to run to no courtroom. I don't have to file any lawsuits. I'm going to get mine and get my justice no matter what without lifting a finger because God got me. That's what y'all got to understand, bro. Y'all is in this delusion trying to tell yourself some nonsense and none of it exists. And they all upset because they know what it is. You knew better, you do better. You feel me? Like I said, I get to say what I want, do what I want. I'm retired at 35. I'm living good. I'm doing well. Like I said, I paid over 8,500 in land taxes. Y'all don't want to talk about that. I paid bills for years. I've paid so much money for everything. It's unreal. I've ran a state several for years, for decades. I'm a businessman. For anyone to be having my name in their mouth, they not being real with themselves, man. Because I'm always busy making money. Last I checked. I'm on here right now because I'm getting paid. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I don't waste my time. You gonna pay me. So that's the thing. Like I said, these people they want to reach so bad. They want to put me in a different aura and energy. You can't. You see my point? And that's the thing. I've realized what it's designed to do. It's all just designed because they wish that they could gear my content a different direction. That's why I deleted that show today. I'm not playing that game with you no more. They want to act like they can't hear to have me have to repeat myself, or they want me to get on here and they want me to, talk tough. And there's nothing wrong with it. I could do it, but just the fact that it's not going to be conducive and it's not going to help me advance, why would I do that? I figured out your moves a long time ago. If I analyzed your behavior, don't sit there and play with my intelligence like you're going to do something when I told you I already caught you. You understand? I already know what you want, bro. What it is y'all do the same thing every time. You bluff, you bluff, you bluff. You try to antagonize, provoke real gangsters, and then you take the cop out every time. Every time you're all federal informants, you're snitches, you soldier boy run and tell them. You just trying to get people caught up. You trying to get people literally caught up, and you trying to get people in trouble. And I would never be the person that would put myself in that position or ever let narcs get cause me a bit of trouble. Let's try the same thing in Austin in that lot I worked for, not for, but in when I was cooking. I ran my own food truck. I didn't own it. I worked for the owners. I literally outdid everybody in that lot by myself. Ask about me. I ran Rainy Street. That's the real truth. I'm a gangster. A gangster was on Rainy Street and basically took it over and did whatever he wanted. I was making buku bucks, paying for a hotel every night, every other night, over $100. That's why them fools like TJ is upset and they mad because he was talking to people that worked in there in the lobby trying to slander me. And that's why I came out that day, like I said. And that one weirdo, she said, "Oh, you look like this, whatever," talking about my pants. And my pants weren't even like sagging, and I literally yelled out and said, "Because I got all this money," and pulled out a stack of bread. Yeah, I didn't put up with anything. So why are you talking to me like it's cute? Bro, I saw that in TJ. Everything flashed back for me when he did what he did because I remembered everything. I remember going to the club and trying to talk to him and seeing the look in his eyes, and I'm like, okay. So I've been seeing the evil in your eyes, and you thought I was deceived. Like I said, no, I was on to you the whole time, brother. See, that's the thing. Y'all don't get how macho I really am and how above you and stronger than you I am. TJ is a weak dude. You weak, bro. You ain't never been strong, bro. That's why everybody overlooks you. What do? You don't even have a voice in this. Just be quiet. You ain't a part of nothing. That's the truth about you, is that you should really take a long, hard look in the mirror and just be sad because you failed in everything you ever did. The people you talk to, they don't even take you seriously. How you got to ask other people for money and can't send more than a couple of bucks? You got to look inside your heart, brother, and ask yourself, why are you jealous of me when that's not what we should be doing? I mean, we all come from the same neighborhood, same communities, whether we like it or not. You know what I mean? You come from Austin, I come from Austin. If we can't lean on each other and work with each other, how we gonna make it? See, that's the thing. That's why people like you, I'll never have any respect. That's crazy. I mean, you just basically said don't respect me at all. Like I don't understand that. You trying to go against someone that you know is real. He admitted that he's a snitch, and he trying to act like he told me something. What? You just proved that everything you ever said is a lie. You just proved that everything is the ultimate form of hypocrisy. Like, do you understand? You're the softest dude I've ever met now. You went from me having a lot of respect for you and thinking that you was not real, but that you was cool and that you was, well, somewhat of a real person, to I just lost all respect for you. That's all that happened. I'm not mad at you. I'm not, I don't feel any type of way. I'm not holding on to nothing. I forgive you. But it's just I lost all respect for you. And I had a lot. That's sad. That's not cool. That's sad. And this is what people are doing. They go coming out the box and throwing away years of real friendship. I was a real genuine friend of this dude, and I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm kicking the truth. And that's what you do. And then you go with these people online and try to paint it like that's cool, brother. That's not cool, man. There ain't nothing cool about that. See, that's the thing. They trying to make it like it's glorified to go against me. Whoever went against me in doing anything that's glorified? Please answer that. Please tell me. Anyone went against me, they lost. Anyone went against me, they literally ate canned sardines and never succeeded and never had anything. And like all these people, they can't afford a hot dog. That's why I tell them that, because it's a fact. You said it out your own mouth. Tone Space had a video. I think it's still online, possibly to this day, but it was before. And he admitted that he couldn't even afford a hot dog. He said, I get a hot dog and I share it with the homeless. You've been homeless. You live off a government check. Like I said, I can talk about whatever I want because I know how to follow the rules and the law. This is a public talk show, partner. You can't escape me saying the truth. Sorry. I don't care who you are. Like I said, if you calm down, right, and you go ahead and just, leave YouTube, then you don't have to worry about it. But as long as you still running your mouth about anything on my network, because I run this, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in. Feel me? Like, nah, bro. I even invited you on my show. Tried to have a serious conversation with you. You got a crazy look in your eye, and they told you what to do, and you pulled a stunt, and you said some weird lie and yelled it with your weird voice, space, 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 because you're always having a conniption fit, right? It's clear what's wrong with you. I mean, it's clear as day, and it stems from narcissism. I mean, you're funny as hell, not just to me, but to everyone. I mean, the truth is, you're the laughing stock of not only YouTube but reality. You have to deal with those problems. That's why I talk about it, because you just funny as hell to me. I mean, I went in on the fake girlfriend today, no problem. I'll continue to. There's nothing you can do about it. I could talk about you as much as I want. There's nothing you can do. You understand? Especially with all the crimes you committed. See, that's the thing. People can't move with me. They can't take me to court on nothing because I do everything by the law and I do everything right. And they can't take me to court for nothing either, because if we got to court, they'd be immediately arrested. You'd go to jail, bro. You'd go to prison. What? I have a full case against all y'all. You see the point? This is the thing. You can't cover it up. Half of y'all left the videos up because can't even think. They're just not wise. Like, you think these other folks that you're a part of a group of don't matter? Any of these videos that they say, that's evidence against you too, because you were part of them. If you part of the Red Triangles, bro, I mean, it's just a ton of legal trouble in your future and nothing good and prison time. I own you. I got the best of all of you, so you don't get to talk and just go online and hide and type. Like, nah, bro. However you feel, just keep it to yourself. Because clearly we've already proved that they're all shook and they're all scared of Batman. So I already won against you. Now we move forward on the bigger, better things like I do every day. I'm not in the past. So that's the thing. My only deal is this: when I resolve a matter, I don't care what it is and concerning who. Once we resolve a matter, we move forward. I don't do that stuck in the past stuff. I defeated all y'all. Y'all was never an obstacle. Y'all wasn't even easy to defeat. That was an easy victory. Move on. That's it. Move on. There's nothing you can say, nothing you can do. You lost. Goodbye. You know what I mean? Like, learn how to take an L and hold an L. Feel me? That's him, man. He can't hold his L. Feel me? So you gotta understand, I'm not gonna change my rhetoric. I ain't gonna switch up how I'm coming. Like I said, I'm a street dude, bro. I'm an actual gangster. You understand? I'm gonna win and get my justice regardless, no matter what. I don't have to run to no courtroom. I don't have to file no lawsuits. That's what y'all don't get. I'm a literal spiritual emperor. Okay, I'm an emperor in the spiritual realm. There's something called divine court and divine law. God chose me to literally be an enforcer in the streets and an enforcer of divine law. You understand? This is different. Okay, everything that y'all saying that, oh, you can't do this, and well, apparently someone can, because Batman's doing everything you say that nobody can do. If nobody can do it, then how am I doing it? And how am I getting paid to do it? Everything I do is the real thing. You know what my job is. You know exactly what I am. Don't sit here and play with me. Y'all know what I am. You know what I'm about. You know what I do for career. You know how I get down. Let's get real, man. So, like I said, don't sugarcoat stuff with me, man, because you know what I'm about and who I am. You feel me? Ain't none of y'all this. You can say whatever, but I'm gonna tell you what. Y'all want to act tough, Tony. The toughest thing you can be is what I am, what Batman is. Go look it up and research. That's the toughest thing you can be. I'm the toughest man on the planet. Somebody who takes matters into their own hands, who does what they want and stands up for themselves and says, no, I'm going to bring justice and take my own justice and get my own justice because ain't nobody else going to do it for me. Somebody who gets sick of the way that things are and stands up and does it themselves and goes out in the street with their bare hands and makes a change. That takes heart, man. That takes bravery. Why not just give someone the credit? See, you don't have a choice anymore. Y'all are going to study my outlines. Elon Tusk wants to study my brain patterns and figure out how I did this. They already know I'm the future plan of all reality. Batman is the future no matter what. I'm the paradigm of what they wish they could do. Elon Musk ain't doing all these pull-ups and dips and push-ups. Elon Musk can't go to the hood. Elon Musk don't have the wealth I have. He doesn't own anything because he's a Mason. Any Mason owns nothing. They have zero zilch, they're broke, and they're poor. Get that understood. I'm never going to let you forget it. I don't have to keep repeating it. It's just what it is. If all y'all want to be ignorant to the facts, be my guest. That's what the guy who inspired me to do radio said. He said, you'll bump into each other till the end of time because you're operating from a basis of ignorance. And I'm operating from a basis of facts. He said, I spit documented fact. And that is why I'm the most you-know-what radio show host who ever existed. So who do you think is that radio show host today now? Tyree Sneed. I'm the new Frank Lucas legally. Yeah, I'm the new Frank Lucas, and I did it all legally. I have more power than all those folks. You understand when they said Frank Lucas is the most you-know-what man walking the streets? Tyree Sneed is really that. Legally, all by the book. Do everything legal. I make legal money. I follow the law. I uphold the law. I literally make a living making sure that just people do what they're supposed to do and do their job. I'm all about upholding the law. I believe in the law. I don't believe in none of you. I don't believe in fools and clowns. I don't believe in fake jobs and fake titles and position. I don't believe in a bunch of people who have always been corrupt. I believe in the law. There's a difference. And I believe that there will always be justice, but you have to stand up and you have to get your own justice. See, that's the thing. That's the first thing everybody tells you. Oh, don't do this. Don't take matters into your own hands. You have to. You have no choice. It's been that way forever. That's the first thing I learned. And you're supposed to. No, you have to in this country, in this world. Everything is about taking matters into your own hands. And that's how this country was built. So y'all want to pull the wool over people's eyes and lie. Y'all want to contain people and control people because they know that if I ever get started and they get me started, they're scared of what I'm capable of and what I can accomplish. And you're seeing it. Feel me? That's all I really got to say, man. Like I said, I thought I had a great conversation with Cyber. Everything I said, it has nothing to do with Cyber. Cyber is a good dude. Um, I'm gonna start sending him the links so he can come on the shows too. I just didn't want to do it this one because I just wanted to talk and do my own thing right now. But he got the channel. He subbed. I subbed to his channel as well. I'm fair, and he deserves that. And I might promote his channel too. I want to see people succeed, man. All I'm saying is I want us to work together, man. I want us to try to figure something out. Maybe him and I could figure out a way to help each other. Maybe we can get some other people involved who good people. I just don't trust none of you on here. You understand? So, hopefully, through him, he's the only dude that seems, worthy to me on here, literally, that I would somewhat trust, honestly. And that's crazy to say because I thought he was a totally different person until today. So that was kind of cool. And God told me he's going to always send me people. So obviously he's a godsend and I'm going to remember that. I'll never forget that. He's a good dude, man. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Maybe him and I can help each other because I'm trying to get where I'm up in New York and I can do this in New York. I don't need much, but I need at least a couch somewhere. And no, that doesn't mean that I'm just asking him. I'm just saying that's what I need. I need a couch somewhere. I need to be able to eat and I need to be able to, look for work. Like maybe I could work up there and like that's all I need is to be able to have a little spot, little couch to sleep on. All I need is sleep. I'm a machine, bro. I just need sleep. I'll go look for work. I'll go fill out job apps everywhere. I'd be so excited to be in New York, period. If I had anywhere I could stay up there, like I'm going to need help to get up there, obviously, right? I just would want to be somewhat, know that I'm going to be okay and somewhat taken care of, but that's what I need. For anyone on here to try to judge me for that, I'm sorry, but who are you judging me? Have you looked in the mirror or looked at the position you're in? I'm already wealthy. I built a whole life 10 times over, like a million. I've got spots everywhere. I'm liquid. What are you talking about? I've been doing my thing across the tri-state forever, bro. Y'all is crazy, son. No, yeah, that's what a grown man does. Like, no, bro, I already did the thing. I already succeeded. I already went through it all. I made all the money, got targeted by the government, had to spend it, and came back and made more money. A million times. I've made millions of dollars every year consecutively, bro. You're talking to a boss, bro. What? So the thing is, at this point, because I'm coming out of everything I'm coming through, and out of, and I just defeated all these witches, covens, male and female. I defeated all of Freemasonry, all of Illuminati, literally defeated everyone who targeted me. All of them, I defeated you, right? That's a lot to go through, and you're not gonna have. You're gonna be depleted of resources when you get through that. You can't have money because to still have money, it's not possible. See, y'all want to judge, but you haven't been in my shoes. Just like when they was saying that was them saying like that dude in Benton Harbor, he was saying, "Oh well, you were supposed to do this with the money." No, you don't do that. That's literally illegal. What are you talking about? And what are you encouraging? See what I'm saying? You're not making any sense. No, that's not what happened. Like I said, you have to understand me, they twisted all the rules. They was literally just breaking the law and doing whatever they wanted, right? So no, I was forced to spend the money. And I'm glad I did. I'm not worried about it. You understand? And then I came back and kept making it over and over, time and time again. And I continue. I still continue to make profit nonstop. It's not about how much money I got, but that's my point. If we could get me up to New York, get an environment like that, literally, bro. If I like, literally, I would have no issue if I was provided a couch and they were like there's food in the fridge, help yourself. That's all I need, and like just promise me you'll look for work every day. I would be like I would immediately offer like, yo, I'll contribute to rent here. I'll help whatever I need to do. I want to be in New York and I want to be doing the Batman thing, and then I can make money doing this and get a job and make work money, and I'm straight. And then I can build everything, and then I can come back to everything I secure because that was my only purpose, was securing all my assets and investments and equity I worked for, right? Because I'm a businessman, and then I can come back and build off of everything and get this whole Batman thing rolling. I have to go somewhere else. I know that, to build, because there's no opportunity. You understand? It's just right now, that's not what I'm doing yet until somebody provides me the money and that opportunity. Y'all could all be helping. What are you talking for? See, that's not how you do people. Like, nah, bro, there's nobody like who has that outlook. Hold up. So that's my whole point, like, nah, bro, we're not gonna continue this game. Like, nah, the same treatment everybody else gets, I have to get. Till then, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. You understand? Nah, all these people even admit it. They already knew, like, no, everything's been unfair. Okay, but you don't dictate nothing. There's no way for you to treat me no way because y'all don't run nothing. You ain't in charge of nothing, so I don't care about that. You understand? You just talking and running your mouth. It's irrelevant. So, like I said, at the end of the day, how do I put this? It's like that's all I need, bro. I need a couch, some food to eat in New York, a way to get up there and get where I'm going, a little spot. That's all I need, bro. Like literally, bro. I'm sure I'd find work up there. I'm sure they'd hire me somewhere. I'm hardworking. I'm smart as hell. I'm a genius, right? Like it's tough anywhere, but like I think it would happen. I would just be excited to be in New York, bro. Like that's the thing. Anytime that I venture out and go on vacation or travel, I have an opportunity to build. It's nothing but building because I already got everything. I already got all the equity and assets. I'm set for life. That's what you people. That's why y'all are so mad all the time because you're like, man, he moves with such confidence. Yeah, because I already did it all. I already did what any grown man would dream of doing. It takes 8 lifetimes to build the wealth I got here, if not more, if not a lot more. So don't talk to me about money and oh, he's doing this and that. No, I'm not. I'm making smart business moves. And this is what you all have gotten online forever. Like you want to commentate, but yet you can't afford a hot dog and have nothing. So you got to make sense. You can't give me advice. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. When you get like me, then come talk to me because I've taught you publicly the right formula, the blueprint, and the way to get wealth and the way to do this. So if you don't want to listen and you want to try to say things that aren't true, that's fine. That's petty, and that's weakness. Everything y'all kick is weak sauce. It's weakness. So like I said, end of the day, I get paid for this live. I get paid for my views on my videos. Just released a new short just what a little bit ago. It's already doing probably over 1,000 views. I'm averaging over 1,000 views on almost every single short now. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing what all y'all wish you could do. Cyrax wishes he could do what I do. Penguin wishes he could have done what I've done. All y'all fools. So keep my name out your mouth. Don't say nothing to me, because I'm happy and I'm winning and I'm making and I love what I do. And just like all these people said, I'm doing what makes me happy for a career. Like I said, all I need is some help, man. I need somebody, I don't care who it is, I need people to step up, and it could be all of you helping me financially. Like I said, if y'all was donating, why don't y'all have a heart and some compassion and say, yo, let's help him so that he's not having to go through anything, right? And that's it. Y'all could all be helping me every day. All you got to do is donate. I got a Cash App, a Venmo, and a PayPal. They're on the community wall. All y'all's just sitting there because like that's a weird attitude, bro. Like, what is that? Like, nah, let me know when we're gonna be fair. See, it has to be fair, man. I'm not like, nah, bro. We need things to be fair. I deserve fair treatment. Till then, I ain't talking to none of y'all about nothing. Feel me? So, like I said, y'all could be sending money and give me money, bro. Give me money so I can get a bus pass, man. You know what I mean? Get somebody to say, hey, yo, you know what? You trying to travel, you trying to go to another state and you want to just, start over, not start over. See, that's the thing. Narcs will use wording to paint things differently. So that was something TJ said, like, oh, I'm not gonna let you start over again. See, again, you talking about things you know nothing about. That's not what happened, brother. See, that's the thing. No, that's not what happened. You don't know anything about me personally. See, that you're trying to say something that without saying it, that's not what happened. I made every right decision, brother. Starting over for me is a cakewalk. Starting over for me means that I'm literally grabbing more equity and winning, and then I start over, and that's just because of other people's idiocy. Let's get real. That's because other people have tried to sabotage everything, and that's the way they think that's normal. I don't care about that. That's helped me. Me starting over is why I have everything. That's what you don't get because it's not starting over. If you already have, then you're not starting over, right, smart one? Okay. So, nah, like I said, I want to go to different cities and states and move around because I already got everything secure. That was my only job. I'm straight, bro. I got everything where I need it. Like, I'm ready to travel, bro. Like, what's up? Well, how long we gonna wait, bro? How long it take? All y'all claim you got bread, right? You got money. All y'all want to run your mouth on panels, but you want to do it for free. You say anything to me, bro? How about you pay me $100 every time you talk to me now? I'm gonna go ahead and make that a public rule. Real talk. You don't say nothing to me on a panel unless you're gonna pay me $100. And every time you'll try to talk to me, I'm gonna leave the panel. You can say whatever, bro. That's a brave move to leave a panel before you start running your mouth talking about nothing. All of them, they go on them panels that like that one dude. He came on the panel. He got some look on his eye, like all that stuff is fake, bro. People would never come around me like that. I'm telling you the truth, bro. Now I came up in the hood, ghetto shelters, bro. I've been around. Trust me, I've been around real street dudes. Ain't no dude gonna come at me looking at me like that. Nobody. I got dudes that I was cool with. Okay, that like I'm so on another level with it, and so like just my mindset is so like different, right? Because I'm a product of my environment and I've been in the streets forever. That literally they'd be like, there was a dude up there. He was talking about. He's like, he was talking and I was asking him something. He's like, not with you looking at me like that. He was worried, and I had just got done like working out. Like y'all understand, I'm a big dude, man. Like I'm not no little guy. I'm not just big, but like people can see, like, yeah, he's got a lot of strength. So all that stuff y'all kicking, that's fine, but I ain't never had nobody talk to me no type of way. I don't care who it was. Nobody. And honestly, like it's never happened. And it never will. So don't go crazy thinking about it. All right. Like I said, you can't fade me. I'm unfadeable and you're never gonna sun me. Trust me. So it is what it is, man. People are mad because I'm a G and I'm a gangster. People are mad because I'm real and they ain't nobody. And that's all that it is, and that's all it'll ever be. All right. So like I said, I'll get paid for this too and everything else I'm doing. Y'all ain't getting paid. You ain't making no bread, no money. You watching me win. You watching me look good. And that's what y'all do. That's your job. Right. So like I said, um, I'm gonna continue to ask and try to ask Cyber if he has any ideas, concepts, anything, man. Like, I mean, even if I had to go up there manually and I had to stay in a shelter, I would do it. if that's what I have to do, but I don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? I've been in shelters of quite a few times while I own properties, to be honest, because I had to work, because they forced me to do that, right? So I mean, and that was because of all the corruption. I didn't have a choice. I had to work and make my money so I could pay the land taxes. Couldn't even be on some of my properties. So that's my point. I deserve to, have some help, man. Nobody's extended their hand and given me nothing my entire life. I never asked for nothing. Like, I deserve. I've done so much. I was paying grown men's light bills. I was taking homeless people off the street, giving them food, clothing, and shelter, paying for a hotel for an entire 2 weeks for them for free. And they're like, "You seriously did that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's no problem, bro. Thousands of dollars. It ain't nothing, bro. I give to people, man. I believe in helping people. That's what gives me satisfaction. So when it comes back to me, it's no surprise. That's the thing. Like, it's not that I expect it, but when it comes, it never surprises me. So like I said, no, like, I'm definitely asking. I'm always ask for what I need. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It don't matter what position I'm in. I'm still wealthy. See, y'all don't seem to get that. You know, that's why you jealous of me, because if I went up to New York, if I go stay in a shelter, well, I'm still that dude in a shelter, but I'm still that dude in a shelter who owns all this wealth and equity. You understand? It doesn't mean that because I walk in a building, I become homeless or I become this and that. No, it's just I got to do what I got to do to get by like anyone. That's common sense. And I don't play the system. I don't use the system. I use the resources around me available the right way and what I need. Like, if I was in New York, clearly I'm not going to have a spot in New York, right? Unless somebody gives me one, right? Because you got to start somewhere. See, these people so unfair. They want to talk before you do anything. Like, yeah, I don't ever play like that. Y'all got to miss me with that. Get away from me. That's for sure, bro. See what I'm saying? That's that fake stuff. You feel me? I don't. There's not even people who really talk like all the people who talk like that. They do it hiding. That's like them people in Austin who they jealous and they do everything behind the computer like 4 years later, when it's like, dude, I was working with you. You could have said how you felt the entire time I was right in front of you. You scared of me. They all scared of me. That's all they've admitted. All of them. So, you know, it is what it is, man. End of the day, uh, I know where we stand with everybody. I know what it is. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep on trying to talk to Cyber about it. Maybe we can figure something out somehow. I don't know, bro, but that's what I need. I need a way to get to New York or get to these different states. I need some kind of spot to be at. I'm just saying, if I could just get a spot in New York and people to help me on here and band together and say, let's donate him the money so we can get him his bus ticket. You're not buying me the ticket. You're going to give me the money and I pay for it. You understand? I would never tell you people where I'm at because you're the red triangles and you're trying to do the same thing and watch my movements. It don't work like that. Batman's unpredictable. We do everything outside of you. I don't know you people like that. You know what I mean? Don't follow me around the internet. Move on. Find something to do. That's it. Yeah, they've tried to get into every aspect of anything I do, bro. That's crazy, bro. And to think that you could do that is just hilarious, because that's why God is delivering you your karma on a silver platter every day. You can't act surprised. You're on here listening right now, right? It's hilarious, bro. How are you going to act surprised because God is delivering you karma for what you're doing wrong? It is what it is. Evil people get what they deserve. I'm not worried about it. Like, what? I laugh at stuff like that. Like, what do you laugh at people like that, huh? Take you seriously? You don't even take yourself seriously. So before you talk about me, do you own buildings, billions in equity? You have access to buildings worth billions of dollars? Because I do. Oh, that's what I thought. Okay. So like I said, like, no, I'm real enough that I go out in the street. I'll go out to different cities, states, whatever. I'll venture, I'll travel. I've manually survived. I've done everything. I've had to panhandle my way through whole states. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm a real man, bro. I'm like the transporter in reality, bro. Yeah, I'm street smart. You can put me on a street. I just proved it with nothing, and I can build empires. You can just drop me off somewhere in a random city, and I'm a survivor. I'm gonna figure out how to climb up through the ranks. If I gotta sleep outside, that's fine for a little while, and then I climb up. I'll find work. I'll figure out. I'll get my foot in some door somehow the right way, and I'll make money, and I'll climb up the ranks. I've done it a million times. So what's wrong with that? That's what you want. See, that's the problem with your snowflake generation. We should be raising men and women that can do that, that can go start from scratch at different cities and states and build from absolutely nothing. You see the point? See, the reason you all want that for me is because you know that there's a lot of risk in the street. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on all over the country and the world right now. There's a lot of evil people. So I know what you want from me, but that's not what's going to happen. Common sense. And I've been on the street for decades. Ain't nobody going to do nothing with me. They're not. You understand? They're going to leave me alone and they're going to be like, oh, it's just another white dude and that's it. That's the truth. And the things that I do go through, I stand up for myself. I'm going to always protect myself and take care of me. You know, my life matters. Real talk. My life matters more than anything. Understand that. So, like I said, I've protected my life this far. Have I not? I stood on business. I'm proud of everything I did. Standing up to people. Feel me? You got to always protect yourself, man. I got one life, bro. I'm gonna for sure protect it and stand on it. I'm gonna protect my life always. You understand? At all costs. That's the way anybody should be. So, like I said, for me, I love my beautiful life. I love who I am. You know what I mean? And I'm blessed that I made it this far. I'm lucky and I'm happy. You know what I mean? And I'm truly satisfied and content. But there's just I'm ambitious. There's so much more I want to build. So, like I said, I'm gonna try to talk to Cyber about it a little more. I'm gonna try to talk to everybody about it. But maybe somebody, like I said, that's all I need, man. I just need a spot, bro. I need a way to get there in a spot. And and it doesn't have to be New York necessarily, but that would be prime time. You know how excited I'd be just to be in New York, bro? Like real talk. If somebody said, that's my dream right now. If somebody said, I'm saying, well, I wait for everything, because I've waited for years and I have to keep waiting and that's fine. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. Like we can get the show started right now. I just need a little bit of money and resources to do it and people to help. That's the only way it's going to happen. If somebody said, here's a couch or like a bed, whatever, if they were nice, here's a little spot to sleep, or well, here's the bus pass money, right? Get you up here to New York. Here's a spot. Here's your couch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Here's you like, there's food in the fridge all the time. You straight. You can help yourself to whatever you want. That's all I need. Couch and food. That's asking for too much. Come on, bro. What age are we in? What world are we in, bro? To get a chance to start. You know how many college students do this? You know how many regular people do it? You know how many people quit their jobs, lose their jobs, and have to do it? What are you talking about? I get the same rules as every human being, brother. You don't dictate my rules or my life. Get over that stuff. So yeah, like I said, there's nothing out of character, out of picture about me asking anybody that. And if anything, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't ask you how you feel about me doing what I'm supposed to do for myself. What? See, that's that weirdo mentality. Y'all funny as hell. You feel me? So yeah, like I said, that's all I need. Couch. Say, here, there's food in the fridge. You good? Help yourself. And if I was in New York, oh boy, I mean, I'm talking about I want to bring my bat suit, at least the one, at least the bulletproof vest, and have that one. I can't bring the whole armor probably unless somebody like picked me up and drove me because it's heavy. You know what I mean? But as far as like getting on the bus, yeah, I can bring that in a bag. You can do that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, what are you talking about? I could have my suit, go up to New York. You know how much money I'd make on YouTube? Bro, it'd be crazy, bro. I'd be out there promoting every day. Tone Space would be ducking me, running from me every day. Like, that's the thing. Tone Space would probably move to a different state. Real talk. He'd probably have to completely use all that fake stuff, that fake relationship, right? He'd have to use that as an excuse and a crutch to lean on. And he'd probably use that and probably try to escape and go to another state because I'd be right there. That's what I'm saying. If you give me access to New York City, that's all I need. I don't even need a whole lot of money to start. Just get me up there and get me going with the bat suit and have me start making content. I'll go out there and make my money every day. You feel what I'm saying? All that stuff that they kicking and talking, I don't know what they're talking about or what they're talking for. Tone Space ran from me in Austin. He backed down, and he was the one who was running his mouth. That's what happened. Everyone knows it. And then you all went online like it was cute and made up a story. That's slander. So everything you do is a crime. How is that wise? These people are funny. You understand? So, like I said, we already know that he's always, we already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? My whole point is that he's a coward. We know what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't worried about none of y'all at all. I'll be right there in New York City. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, when Christina is healed and she's negotiating and finishes everything, we're gonna be up in New York City with we're gonna have access to millions of dollars. What are you gonna do then? Because when I got millions of dollars, I mean, I'm just saying, when you got that kind of money, you kind of move with a little more swagger. You move with a little less caring. You're kind of more reckless. You just don't care. When I had money, I really did. I never backed down to people, but when I had bread, I really didn't back down. I was out of control, bro, and I was owning everybody. Let's get real, because I just didn't care because I knew I had money for whatever court costs I needed or for anything I needed. You understand? But see, that's the thing. Even when you got money like that, you got to have people that you trust. Like, that's the thing. Christina's going to have bail money for me all the time on deck. You know what I mean? In case I get into anything, well, when I'm doing my job working as Batman or in the street, if something randomly happens, even on an off day, it happens. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But my whole deal is, if you could just get me to New York, that's what I'm asking all the people to do. If the Valley wants to show me they support me, help me get to New York and have like a spot. All I need is a couch to sleep on, somewhere to sleep, and I need food in a fridge, and that's it in New York. If you help me with that, I'd be eternally grateful. That bus ticket's probably pretty expensive unless somebody wants to come down here and pick me up that I trust. You know what I mean? But other than that, that's all I can think of. And the only person right now I can think of that can do that at this point is Cyber. That's the only person is Cyber. There's nobody else. You know what I mean? So I'm just being real. Like, no, you see, I don't waste no time. I'm ambitious. I want to get this built. If you had me up there in New York and I had a couch and I had access to food and I was good up there, that's all I need. I'm talking about I'd go out, fill out every job application all over. I'd be filming content all day, every day, making money through this, getting my next checks prepared. So I would have a means of income, right? I would try to contribute. You'd have to be patient with me, and I start small, and I would definitely contribute. Like, if it's whatever I got to do, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of person I am. I'm humble, bro. That's what people don't get. Just because like I have a lot of wealth because I've worked my entire life, because I'm successful, because I've always made a lot of money and made bands and racks and you know what I mean, had more money than all y'all put together. It don't mean I'm not humble, bro. That's why people always love me. That's why they like me in Vegas and was hooking me up with deals on suits. I just got into it with him because I found out he was a liar. I was the one mad at him. You feel me? But it is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is, man. That was the thing in Vegas that was crazy because I like declined, and then y'all is so quick to say this and that happened. Nah, I went back and forth in Vegas, man. I declined, then I'd win, and then I'd bounce right back. Like I went from literally like nothing back to everything. Like I made 2 trips out there. I was basically running Vegas for 2 times for consecutive months, and I mean running Vegas. I was the boss. So I mean I know what it's like to run cities, okay, and be everything there. And at that time I was like the Joker. Wasn't no Batman. I was the Joker, literally. So that's what people don't get. Like I'm a different dude, man. I'm just hyper intelligent. I'm gonna always be the boss and run everything. That's what I realized for me is like my intuition's never wrong, my gut instinct's never wrong, and I have to be the boss because I'm a genius. I can't take orders, I can't listen to others because they're not as smart as me. And with companies, I can run the company better than the people running it. That's what I do. I come on here and talk. I use my gift of gab and I use my $1 million mouthpiece to produce ends and make money. That's why I'm Batman the Alchemist, because that's what alchemy is and alchemizing. Unless you're talking about alchemizing with gold, right? Which I'm going to be alchemizing when I'm building these bat pods and stuff. But alchemy just means building something out of nothing. Now, what do I do? Exactly. And like I said, just me talking, my voice is so powerful. It can build me a fortune just with what I'm doing. That's why I stick with it. So, like I said, I'm gonna get paid for this show too. Like I said, I'm like Mickey Mantle. I just keep on getting victories, and you got to count them. You feel me? So, like I said, it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I need. I need y'all to get on it and people to start trying to work with me and help me, man. And if they want to ignore it, I'm gonna keep bringing it up. I need access to a spot in New York. I need a couch. I need a fridge full of food that I can eat, and that's it in New York. That's all I'm asking. If you can give me that, and like I said, like if I'll do whatever I can do, you know what I mean? If I can get like honestly being realistic, I probably couldn't contribute just with this type of money because it takes forever to pay and they don't pay right. But if I could get a job, minute I get a job, I get my first check, I'll gladly contribute wherever I'm at and help. I don't mind. That's how I am. I like helping. I like sharing. Just allow me to keep something, to keep some of my money so I can build. That's all anybody wants. Just let me build my new life. You feel me? But that's what I need. And if I could do it anywhere right now, I would really be happy with that because there's other states too. But, the goal is to do this in New York because I just think it's going to be perfect for that area. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like if I was working up there making money and was making good money, and somebody was like, "You ain't even got to pay me rent. Like it's just a couch, bro. Just chill. You good. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Do your thing. Have fun. Make your content. You know what I mean? And make your money. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really need. And if I could do that, then I could put all that money into the Batman thing. I could get new masks. I could probably get to the point I get me a 3D printer real quick. Like I can do this quickly, bro. I work efficient. I move quick. That's what y'all don't get. I move mountains quickly with God, and I'm a genius. I know what I'm doing, bro. So that's the thing. Like, nah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole time that y'all is on what you on, that's fine. But when I was in Green Bay, I was working all the time, and I was making buku bucks. I was making a lot of money. I was making top dollar for washing dishes. That's why y'all was jealous. See what I'm saying? No, I always had money. I always had anything I needed, anything I wanted to buy. I was paying for hotels all the time. You know what I mean? Like I said, y'all had me go through 3 bands, and then that's the way they look at it. Like, oh, you waste that. I didn't waste it. All that money taught me lessons. I learned things. You understand? It didn't waste it. It went to food and stuff I needed too. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying my life. That's the thing about narcissists. They never ruin my happiness or steal my joy. I'd be happy no matter what because I love life. I love life, bro. Life is beautiful, man. It's a gift and I celebrate it every day. And you should be the same way. So, like I said, if people want to help me, cool. If not, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Talking about everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm loyal. I'm a good friend. I'm a loyal person. Ask Christina. She knows me. She knows me more than anybody. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's what I need, bro. Couch, fridge full of food in New York. You give me access to New York City and New York, somewhere in New York, man. That's all I need, bro. I'll run around and do this content as Batman all day in the street. And that's the thing. Like I'm saying, if I got a job, I'd work, make my money. I could do bar security again. I'll do whatever I need to do if it's the right thing for me and it's something I feel comfortable doing. I don't want to do that again because I don't want to be in that position, but I want a safer job. But like, I want some kind of good job that I can do where I make bread. I don't, if it was working in a restaurant, I'd do that, whatever. Bro, that'd be super cool because then I could come home to wherever I'm staying at in New York, right? And, you know what I'm saying? Like, do my podcast, whatever, go to sleep, go back and like get in the back in a rhythm like I was where I'm able to work and go to a job. They're not going to let me do it down here. The red triangles already took the opportunities away, and these people ain't going to let me work. So like it's all good. I don't need it right now, but if I'm going to be up in New York, there's opportunity. Different states, there's more opportunities. There's opportunities everywhere. So y'all want to act like you don't get reality. Nah, bro, I don't have none of that stuff. I have no access to nothing. That's common sense. So don't sit here and say, "Oh, he's struggling. Oh, he's this and that." No, I just don't have access to anything. You know what it is. Don't act confused. What are you talking about? And there's benefits to my situations. Don't worry about me, worry about you. You know what I mean? Get yourself right. You know what I mean? Y'all wish that you had what I have. You wish you lived like me and looked like me. Feel me? So like I said, end of the day, it is what it is, man. I got a lot for people to be jealous of, clearly. Right? So like I said, bro, if we get me up to New York, boy, I have so much fun, man. Cause it'd be like, one of my many dreams come true, before my real dream with Christina. Christina is my dream. You know what I mean? Just Christina. You know what I mean? And our future life together. You know what I mean? But it's just Christina. She's my dream come true. She's what I care about and what I want. You know what I mean? But like I said, in the meanwhile, while we wait, I'm trying to make some moves, man. I need to find another state, city that I can just have a vacation, travel, and somewhere I can chill at where like I can build this. Even if it was just a little spot like I had up there or something, a basement. I don't care what it is. I just need somewhere to sleep and food to eat wherever I travel, and that's it. And like if I could do that, man, y'all don't get it, bro. And all these people know it too. They know like if I get any little opportunity, I just need one little opportunity, one little window opportunity. And if I could get back and find me work and get back working again and doing this, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'd be building my own cows, my own Batman mask, the capes, everything. I'd be putting it together and I'd be literally running the streets as Batman. hmm I'd be working and then I'd be Batman. Real talk. Do it on my off days or whenever I feel like I have time. You feel what I'm saying? And I'd get GoPro cameras and I'd film it all. Mhm. That's what y'all don't get. Now, New York would be perfect because then I can actually like, figure out how to climb on the buildings and like I have to know how to do all this stuff. I'm talking about literally climbing on buildings and like I said, being able to attach to things and swing and everything Batman did, I'm gonna be doing, bro. Design the utility belt, all that. So, like I said, that's what I need. People need to get on it, and that's it, man. I've had enough of this other talking and fake stuff. No, y'all need to do your job. You need to get a job, and you need to pay me and donate. You're a fan, okay? Stay in a fan's place. Understand your place. That's your job. You're not me. You didn't do what I did. You didn't accomplish what I did. You did not get to this point like me. You did not make it like me. I made it. No one else, not Masons. They're all broken, poor, and have nothing and own nothing because they sold their soul, right? That's the way to fail. I'm the way to succeed, right? With God. I keep my soul. I have my soul, buddy. Okay? You don't. That's why you're mad, right? I hear them fools. They be on there and they doing all their weird illegal activity talking about, well, if there was a loving God, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's a loving God. Yeah. And trust me, God is about to show up and show out. Don't worry. God continues to show people like you that he exists. Oh, there's a God. If trust me, I think you're evidence every day that there's a God because look at you. Look in the mirror. That's all you got to do. All right. And you look at you and look at what's going on with you because of how you are. That's all. You know what I mean? I think karma is karma. I think people are created the way they deserve. Honestly. Yeah. Nah, bro. I think it's pretty clear God exists. I think that looking at you, I think that that's pure confirmation that God is real. Because just looking at you, I can see, yeah, you getting what you deserve. You feel me? Yeah, that's how I feel. So, like I said, I'll talk to y'all later, man. I'm gonna keep on getting pissed. I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, stay up.